Prince Andrew.
That's right, the disgraced pedophile apologist, the man who once smirked his way through a Newsnight interview denying he even sweats, has finally been stripped of his prince title and booted from Royal Lodge like yesterday's trash. Buckingham Palace dropped the bomb this Halloween evening, Andrew's moving to alternative private accommodation after King Charles twisted the royal arm until it snapped. No more taxpayer-funded luxury for you, Randy Andy.
But is this justice, or just a belated housecleaning?
Buckle up, because we're diving deep into why this eviction is long overdue, why Andrew's a walking embarrassment to the monarchy, and why we should all cheer as the door slams shut. First off, let's savor the sweet sound of karma. Prince Andrew, once the Queen's favorite son, has been formally stripped of his prince title. No more His Royal Highness for the guy who treated the throne like his personal ATM. This isn't some minor demotion, it's a public flogging in velvet gloves. Remember, Andrew's been parading around as a prince for decades, all while dodging accountability for his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex trafficker who didn't kill himself, by the way. Palace insiders are whispering that King Charles, in a rare spine-stiffening moment, insisted on this humiliation amid mounting pressure.
Mounting from where?
From the British public footing his £3 million a year security bill while he plays the victim? From the victims of Epstein's trafficking ring, whose lives Andrew helped shatter with his sleazy globe-trotting. Think about it. This man flew on the Lolita Express, Epstein's infamous jet, multiple times. He partied on Little St. James, the pedophile's private island playground. And when Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's brave survivors, accused Andrew of sexually assaulting her at 17, what did he do? He settled the lawsuit for a cool £12 million, hush money, plain and simple, without ever stepping into a courtroom to clear his name. Evidence? Court documents from the Giuffre case detail photos of Andrew with his arm around a bare illegal Giuffre, Epstein grinning like the devil in the background. Text messages, flight logs, it's all there, a paper trail of perversion that Buckingham Palace can't whitewash anymore. Critics like me have been screaming for years, why keep propping up this predator?
The title strip is just the appetizer.
It's the monarchy admitting, finally, that Andrew's not a prince, he's a prince of darkness, a leech who's sucked the dignity out of the firm. And let's not forget the hypocrisy. While Charles preaches about slimming down the monarchy for cost-cutting, he's let his brother lounge in Royal Lodge, a 30-room mansion on 4.5 acres of prime Windsor real estate, rent-free since 2002. That's your money, folks. Over £2 million in renovations alone, funded by the Crown Estate.
Stripping the title? It's the bare minimum.
It's like giving a serial shoplifter a stern warning after he's looted the store blind. Now, on to the meat. Andrew's forced quit from Royal Lodge. After years of digging in his heels like a spoiled toddler, he's packing his bags for alternative private accommodation. Translation: some dowdy Frogmore cottage hammerdown or leaky London flat, wherever Charles can shove him without the optics of outright homelessness. Palace statement tonight confirms it. No more pretending he's still relevant. This isn't voluntary. It's King Charles wielding the big stick, backed by a tidal wave of public fury. Polls show 70% of Brits want Andrew's titles and perks gone. That's not pressure, that's a guillotine. Why the holdout until now? Andrew's been clinging to Royal Lodge like it's his last shred of relevance, turning it into a fortress of denial. Reports from The Telegraph and BBC detail how he's remodeled it into a bizarre faux Versailles, complete with antique furniture and a private cinema, all while claiming poverty in his Epstein payout. Evidence mounts. Leaked emails show palace aides begging him to leave since 2023, citing the unsustainable cost to the taxpayer. Unsustainable? Try indefensible. While cancer-stricken King Charles trims the fat from the royal budget, Andrew's been burning through £250,000 annually just on utilities for his sprawling estate.
And for what?
Hosting tea parties with disgraced cronies? Posing for selfies with QAnon types who think he's innocent. This eviction exposes the rot at the heart of the Windsors. Andrew's not just a bad apple, he's the worm that poisoned the orchard. His scandals have tanked the monarchy's approval ratings to historic lows. A YouGov survey last month pegged it at 42%, with Andrew cited as the top villain. Victims groups like Justice for Giuffre have lobbied relentlessly, pointing to unsealed FBI files that name-drop Andrew in Epstein's black book over 100 times. Mounting pressure? It's the screams of justice echoing through the halls of Windsor. Charles finally listened, or caved, because ignoring it risked toppling the whole teetering house of cards.
Good riddance, Andrew.
Your alternative accommodation sounds like the downgrade you earned. From palace prince to palace pest, exiled to the shadows where perverts belong. But let's zoom out, because Andrew's downfall isn't just personal, it's a referendum on the entire rotten institution. Stripped of his title and quit from his gilded cage, he embodies everything wrong with the royals: entitlement on steroids, accountability in absentia, and a knack for turning public funds into private playgrounds. Evidence? Look at the sovereign grant reports. Since the Epstein stench hit in 2019, Andrews drained over £10 million in security and upkeep from public coffers. That's equivalent to 50,000 NHS hospital meals or funding for 2,000 low-income families. While Britain's queue for food banks amid a cost-of-living crisis, Andrew's been sipping £500 bottle cognac in a taxpayer-heated mansion. Critics from across the spectrum, from Republican firebrands like Graham Smith of Republic to even mild-mannered broadsheet columnists, agree this is the monarchy's #Me Too moment, and they are fumbling it. Andrew's Newsnight fiasco? A masterclass in gaslighting. "I don't sweat," he claimed, because some bogus medical condition from the Falklands. Evidence debunked that in seconds. He sweats plenty in those sweaty-palmed Epstein pics.
His settlement? An admission of guilt without the guts to say it.
And now, this eviction? It's Charles playing catch-up, but too little, too late.
Why not claw back the millions?
Why not hand him over to the FBI, who still want to chat about those island visits? Antagonize.
Damn right.
Andrew's not a tragic figure, he's a triumphant failure of privilege. He weaponized his title to cozy up to dictators and deviants, from Saudi sheikhs to Epstein's underage orgies. The pressure that finally moved him? It's us, the people who've boycotted royal merch, trended #abolish the monarchy, and demanded transparency. Palace confirmation tonight is their white flag, but it reeks of damage control, not reform. Until the Windsors purge every enabler, from the courtiers who hid his flight logs to the Queen who knighted him despite the whispers, this is just sweeping filth under a very expensive carpet. Andrew's not a lone wolf, he's the poster boy for unchecked power.
His military service in the Falklands?
Heroic, sure, but it bought him a lifetime pass to ignore the rules the rest of us live by. Epstein wasn't a blip, it was a pattern, from cash for excess scandals to that Kuwaiti tanker arms deal eyebrow raiser. Victims like Jew-free get settlements, Andrew gets a soft landing in private accommodation. Where's the outrage for the real casualties?
This ousting mocks them. And Charles?
His insistence rings hollow when he hobnobbed with the same circles. It's class warfare disguised as family drama, the rich shuffling deck chairs while the public foots the bill. So, there you have it, Prince Andrew, stripped bare of his title and evicted from his unowned throne, courtesy of a King Charles fed up with the family freak show. We've dissected the evidence, the Epstein logs, the £12 million payout, the £3 million security scam, and it's clear, this isn't redemption, it's reckoning. Andrew's move to alternative private accommodation marks the end of his royal ripoff, but the scars he leaves on the monarchy?
Those fester on.
The points boil down to this. 1. His title was a sham he never deserved, revoked only after public rage boiled over. 2. Royal Lodge was his entitlement fortress, now rightfully stormed. 3. His scandals indict the whole firm, proving privilege protects predators until it doesn't.
We deserve better than this clown car constitutional crisis.
Royals, take note, the crown's weight is crushing you from within. If this fired you up, smash that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered royal takedowns, and drop in the comments. Should Andrew face extradition?
Is Charles next?
Share this with every fed-up friend. Let's keep the pressure mounting. Until next time, stay skeptical, stay sovereign.